My name is Yana Lyashenko, and I am a Google Logistics Specialist. I handle delivering to the target audience for businesses with the required parameters. I help businesses scale their online sales using Google advertising tools. And in today's video, I will be showcasing a case study of our team. Our market is Italy. The currency, don't be alarmed if anyone is unfamiliar, is the Czech koruna. What do we sell? Essentially, handmade children's products. These are not toys, but something closer to furniture and more. What do I want to demonstrate in this case study? Italy. Let's put it this way. The first challenge in this project is that the Shopify platform, unfortunately, has issues with the correct and accurate transmission of conversions. So, the number of conversions we see is actually much higher in reality. I don't know why this is happening. We've tried everything. Various plugins, the scheme for tracking these conversions, and then we even tried using UTM tags, different formats of this tracking. Still, the Shopify platform incorrectly transmits the number of conversions from certain payment systems, primarily Shopify payments. When we contacted Shopify support multiple times to check the versions they might have, in each case Shopify stated that this problem has existed for a long time and they are trying to fix it. Maybe I'll insert a screenshot of one of the conversations with Shopify support here. Basically, they respond with the same thing each time. So, the number of conversions we have here does not reflect the actual amount. As you can see, we have only one conversion here, which is for the cups, but in reality, there are significantly more conversions. And accordingly, the cost per conversion is also significantly lower than what we see here. But I will show the numbers that we have here. The Italian market has been very slow for us in terms of conversion units. The various structures we tried were very sluggish. But in any case, we managed to gather some analytics, which allowed us to scale up further. Even amidst these conversion disruptions, this is a very significant drawback. Why is this a significant drawback for Performance Max? Because they do not receive enough analytics that we could rely on. Therefore, we loaded this account with additional data transmission in DN remarketing and additional conversions that are set in supplementary tracking mode, not as primary optimization goals, so that it at least sees indirect results of its work. Naturally, this is not an ideal situation. Ideally, he would see all the analytics from start to finish right away, understanding what happens with the product after we switch to it, and ending with the final steps. So, this is our main challenge. By gathering analytics, the advantage of this niche is that we have well-known cash cow products that can generate conversions, and we can increase traffic to them. Yes, they don't grow very actively, but we also have star products, and we have dead dogs, which in this project can be turned into conditional stars instead of being turned off and forgotten. By training Performance Max, we can generate a certain type of traffic. And in addition, we have zero-rated products, which also serve as a resource for growth. Zero-rated products, let me explain what that means. These are the products that, compared to the entire dataset, receive the least amount of exposure or do not receive any at all. We have month-to-month data. These are not zeros, conditionally. They fluctuate back and forth because there isn't a situation where in the new performance, where the zeros have already been run, new zeros appear. This situation where all products are shown evenly hasn't been resolved, otherwise it increases the cost for conversion. So the situation we have is roughly as follows. Here, the analytics were gathered accordingly, and then we try what I call shots, where we specifically aim to increase the budgeting volume either for a set of campaigns or for certain advertising campaigns, or massively for all campaigns. This is because the structure is quite extensive to understand whether the cash cows can proportionally increase the number of conversions in units. Secondly, will the performances be able to generate a greater number of star products? Star products are those that receive single, irregular conversions. Anything less than 15 sales per month is considered irregular conversions. Will we be able to achieve these conversions, at least so that they fit into the critical KPIs set by the client directly, in any case? And here you can clearly see the spike that occurred, then it was eliminated, it was reduced. As you can see here, our conversions remained relatively stable, although the cost per conversion occasionally spiked. This is logical because Performance Max does not fully capture the entire volume of conversions and sales. Overall, I am relatively satisfied with the performance during this period. In the situation with this picture, when we had both few sales and these very high costs per conversion, although there were conversions in the Shopify admin panel, if you relate them to the expenses, it was basically on the verge of breaking even. That is, it wasn't zero, but it was still a small profit, which the client wanted. But here you can see a very large and scary number in terms of expenses for just one conversion, even though there may be quite a large number of clicks. And this picture, I will now demonstrate it in a slightly different format. I love to consider any performances in dynamics. So let me remove the clicks to make it more illustrative. So we have this time interval here. I'll use some pink now. We measure by conversions, meaning the average conversion rate before was roughly at this level. Now the average conversion rate is approximately at this level. So this delta increase is significant. Plus, if we look at the average value of the second period, these delta breakthroughs, well, let's call them conditional delta breakthroughs upwards, significantly exceed the share of downward breakthroughs, these drops in the number of conversions. Here we have a similar situation. We can even raise this delta a little bit. Let's try to raise it somewhere around here, for example, but we still need the bottom to be somewhere around here. We can try a bit more. Nevertheless, the downward deltas are significantly smaller than the upward deltas. This is a fairly positive signal in terms of performance. This means that the traffic generated in the overall array is quite high quality. This also indicates that the global situation regarding the training mechanics for selecting A/B performance tests is going quite well. The only nuances are when our conversion costs spike significantly. They are tied to attribution models, plus this customer behavior mechanics. Now I will show you. So let's proceed. Here, we have a purchase selected here. Here's our purchase. This is the one and only conversion. What do we see here? Here we see the most critical aspect. This is what affects the cost for conversion. This is the average number of interactions before a conversion. It's 4 to 1. Can you imagine? Before making a purchase, this Italian clicked on us an average of 4 times, just on average. Of course, there is a smaller amount and there is a larger amount. This is the amount we earned, hypothetically, from people who clicked on our ad approximately 12 more times. Keep in mind that this analytics is only for completed conversions. And we can't target exactly those who will buy from us right away. We target those who want to buy this product. But they're comparing prices, browsing websites, checking purchase conditions, delivery options, colors, and so on. This does not take into account the return rate, which is usually slightly higher in Italy. On average, they clicked 4 times. Now, if we add our metric here as the cost per click, GN average CPC, look, it's almost 10 Czech korunas, just for a moment, just. At least 4 times, meaning we spent a minimum of 40 Czech koruna on average just to get a conversion. This is an average. Some spend more, some spend less. Performance Max tries to adapt to those customers who are making purchases. This whole situation with the 4 interactions is further complicated by the average number of days to conversion. This is an average of 2 and 5 days. We had to increase this number for Italy because when we had an average of 1 and 2 days, we had fewer conversions compared to after that. So, what does the number of days to conversion mean? It is the number of days it took for a person to make a purchase decision. We haven't looked at this in terms of purchase analytics yet. The purchase analytics are significantly lower than this conversion data because there is a data transmission issue. This number can reach up to 8 days because the data collection process is a bit different and significantly lower than these conversions. For example, there are 104 conversions that were made within the first 24 hours. There were 9 conversions that took more than 12 days. I take 30 days here. The analysis is always ongoing. Taking 7 days conditionally would be better. But over 7 days, it usually does not show up-to-date analytics because the actual number of conversions from yesterday can only be seen within 72 hours. So Google will also change, recalculate, and so on. Here you go, Italians, guys. This is how they buy things for children that we are currently advertising. This is quite a big issue. Well, not an issue, but a complex task for most projects. That is, initially investing a lot of money to get some conversions is very easy. Bringing performance to the point where you simply increase the number of clicks and still get a relatively good picture of conversion growth is already a task with asterisks. It's practically impossible to exclude it in any way at all somehow. You should remember one very important major nuance. If everything aligns, all the cards are in your favor, there is excellent demand for this product, not too many competitors in this niche, and the customer is ready to buy now, then even if the advertising is set up poorly, it will still generate sales. You won't be completely satisfied until you reach a certain budget ceiling, at which point profitability will start to decline. But as soon as there are these complexities and nuances in the purchasing process, and the purchase is very lengthy, if you just increase the budget, your profitability will drop to zero, and there will be no results. For example, the first spike in traffic led to a significant increase in conversions, not necessarily doubling, but if you observe, the volume of clicks here is roughly the same as here, relatively speaking. So as soon as you scaled up, the expenses increased, profitability dropped, the cost per conversion rose, and you don't know what to do next. Therefore, it is extremely important to carefully control the analytics that you feed into your advertising account. Here in Performance Max, artificial intelligence is embedded, which very kindly learns from the data you provide. It is much easier for him to handle any critical situations on his own once you have at least 50 conversions per week, which means a minimum of 50 sales. There is no minimum of 50 sales per week here. Maybe we will reach them, those 50 sales per day. So he needs this analytics. Moreover, if we consider the European market, specifically Italy, there is also the issue of consent mode, which involves collecting data without cookies. This requires even more statistics because the system demands a minimum of 1,000 users per day who have declined cookie access and 1,000 who have accepted it for the machine learning to function properly. This helps to navigate critical situations of conversion drops and increases, making the performance more consistent, smooth, and stable. Naturally, you can't just input 1,000 or 2,000 events that won't have any value, because Google will definitely always indeed make money off you. You pay for every click. Whether you will earn from it is a very big question. Therefore, there are many niche projects where you need to be patient during the performance optimization process, because once you launch a bunch of tests, they can blur the real customer avatar that Performance Max has just started to identify. You can't make sharp, frequent jumps. As you can see, it was brought down to zero, brought to a somewhat understandable picture, and then done again. So, you can't just do it like that. It's a huge block of intellectual work. So it's not just a simple Control-Z, Control-V to change a campaign or signal. It's a very complex task, and it involves a lot of intellectual work. So all of this is the result of a conditionally constant analysis of the advertising campaign's performance. So this is the complex and interesting case I wanted to show you what I did. See you in new case studies or episodes.